Welcome to What If Lab. What if art and music never existed? Imagine a world where, from the moment humanity began, art and music never existed. No paintings, no sculptures, no music, no poetry. This world is cold and indifferent, one where art and music have never been born. People might still build cities, develop technology, and create language, but they would never be able to touch the deep longings of the soul. What role do art and music play in human civilization? And if they never existed, what would humanity be like? Today, we'll journey through this imagined, parallel world to explore how the absence of art and music would impact human emotions, culture, technology, and existence itself. First, let's look at human emotional expression. Art and music have always been called the languages of emotion. When you hear that heartbreaking song or pour paint onto a canvas, have you ever felt a surge of emotion? That's the magic of art, transforming emotions that words can't describe into tangible forms. This phenomenon is known as emotional transfer. Studies show that when people listen to music or engage in artistic creation, brain regions related to emotion processing, memory recall, and the pleasure and reward systems, such as the amygdala, hippocampus, and ventral tegmental area (VTA), are significantly activated. More importantly, art and music have also become sanctuaries for many to express their emotions. Art therapy and music therapy are now widely used to treat mental health issues such as PTSD, depression, and anxiety. One study found that just 45 minutes of artistic creation can significantly lower the level of the stress hormone cortisol in the body. Music therapy has even helped autism patients improve social skills and dementia patients recall memories. Now, let's imagine this world without art. In this place, there is no music to listen to, no paintings to express emotions. How would people express their inner pain and anxiety? Perhaps they would only be able to convey it through monotonous language and cold behavior. Imagine a depressed patient trying to explain their inner struggle to a psychiatrist, but realizing that words can never capture that profound darkness. Perhaps people would turn to drugs, extreme behaviors, or even violence to release their emotions. When the expression of art disappears, our emotional lives will become arid and dry. From prehistoric times, art and music have been closely intertwined with religion and ritual culture. From the wild boar paintings in the Altamira caves of Spain to the temple murals in ancient Egypt, humans have always used art forms in the pursuit of supernatural powers. According to anthropologist Victor Turner's symbolic ritual theory, humans use art forms such as music, dance, and sculpture to give form to intangible beliefs, creating collective resonance and a sense of belonging among participants. Now, imagine a world without art and religion. Sacred songs and dances no longer exist. Only cold prayers and scripture recitations remain. Churches no longer have stained glass. Temples no longer have exquisite sculptures, and the religious experience of believers becomes monotonous and dull. Without art as a bridge for emotional resonance, the influence and cohesion of religion would be greatly diminished. Perhaps people would turn to pure, philosophical reflection and moral codes to fill the void of faith, but religion would become a rational and cold system lacking warmth. Now, let's move to language and memory. The development of human language is a mysterious process, and many scholars believe that the emergence of art might have been one of the catalysts for this history. Linguist Miyagawa and others' cross-modality information transfer hypothesis suggests that early humans' creation of cave paintings might have been accompanied by sounds. This implies that art creation and language development may have occurred simultaneously. When we try to convert images or sounds into abstract symbols, it not only exercises the brain's ability to process symbols, but also helps us develop complex language abilities. Additionally, the origin of writing is closely linked to art. The earliest writing systems, such as Sumerian cuneiform and ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, initially expressed meaning through drawing. These systems can be seen as a cross-product of art and practical communication. Moreover, art and music have always been the most effective memory aids in early cultures. In a world without writing, oral transmission was the primary means of preserving knowledge. The rhythm and melody of music helped people better remember history, laws, and even religious texts. Ethnomusicologists believe that tribal chanting and ritual music were the earliest human libraries. But what if art and music had never existed in this world? Human language might have developed more slowly, and we might still have created a pure symbolic system for communication, but without the rich imagery and expressiveness that art brings. It would be a tool solely for information transmission, not for creativity or emotion. Without music and poetry as mnemonic aids, the transmission of knowledge would be much more difficult. Perhaps humanity would have invented writing earlier, but it would have been an extremely cold tool simply for recording data, transactions, and orders, not creating epic stories or legends. Since childhood, we have known how important art and music are for children's growth. When children doodle, sing nursery rhymes, or play simple instruments, they are not just playing, they are learning. Studies show that music training enhances the brain's neuroplasticity, particularly improving language skills, memory, and executive functions. Art creation trains visual spatial skills and fine motor skills, while fostering excellent problem-solving abilities and creative thinking. Psychologist Imerdino Young points out that art education helps children develop reflective thinking, a crucial part of personality development. Reflective thinking allows individuals to consider others' perspectives and reshape their identity. However, now let's imagine this world without art. In school classrooms, there are no music classes, no art classes, and all learning focuses on standardized knowledge like mathematics, language, and science. Children lack opportunities to express themselves with colors and melodies, and they miss out on the space to explore and challenge themselves through creation. Their creativity will no longer be encouraged but instead be confined to rigid rules. Children without art training may learn to handle numbers and symbols earlier, but lose the imagination and ability to think from multiple perspectives. Perhaps they will still become successful engineers, scientists, or lawyers, but they will never have that sudden spark of insight that Einstein said was more important than knowledge. Now, let's step into the realm of technology. Imagine if art and music never existed. How would modern technology and entertainment industries be affected? In fact, according to Cisco's research, audiovisual content accounts for 80% of internet traffic in our reality. Our phones, computers, and VR devices mostly exist for entertainment, especially for the consumption of music, movies, and games. If these art forms never existed, what would these tech products become? Perhaps our phones would only have basic communication functions. Computer monitors would only display data and text, and screen resolution and color performance would become irrelevant. As for virtual reality VR, it might only be used for scientific training and technical simulation, not for immersing in a fantastical virtual world. The development of artificial intelligence would also be limited. Without art and music as data sources, AI would be unable to simulate human creativity and would only serve as a cold data processing tool. Art and music are not only tools for personal expression, they are also the glue that holds culture and identity together. A nation's traditional songs, a grand festive dance, a painting symbolizing history, all represent a collective memory and values of a group. In our reality, music and art creation have become cultural symbols. For example, African drumming, Middle Eastern calligraphy, European classical music, and American graffiti art. These cultural markers not only distinguish different groups from one another, but also make each member of a group feel a strong sense of belonging. Sociologist Benedict Anderson proposed the concept of imagined communities. He believed that people identify as part of the same group through shared symbols and stories. Art and music are the most powerful carriers of these symbols. But in this world without art, humanity loses the ability to create symbols. National flags no longer have unique designs, perhaps just a plain colored cloth. Festivals no longer have accompanying music and dance. Only greetings and conversations remain. How would we build cultural identity? Perhaps we could only rely on limited factors like bloodline, language, and geography. Worse, without common artistic symbols, social cohesion would be greatly weakened. Culture would become monotonous and fragile. And when language fails to carry emotions, the distance between people would gradually widen. The term creativity is almost synonymous with art. We call painters and musicians creative geniuses. But in reality, creativity is not just the privilege of artists. Psychologist Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences emphasizes that everyone has different types of creativity, from linguistic intelligence to spatial intelligence, from mathematical logic to musical intelligence. The influence of art and music training has permeated all aspects of our daily life. The question is, what would happen to our creativity if art and music never existed? This doesn't mean humanity would become completely uncreative. We would still invent tools and solve problems, but these creations would become more mechanical and utilitarian, lacking that spark of emotion and beauty. In fact, many great scientific discoveries and technological innovations have been inspired by art. For example, Da Vinci's designs for flying machines, Einstein's inspiration through violin music, and even modern AI image generation technology all stemmed from artistic thinking. If art and music never existed, creativity would become a concept existing only to solve problems. All innovations would be for practical use, not for beauty, emotion, or spiritual fulfillment. In our reality, virtual reality VR, artificial intelligence AI, and the metaverse concepts are all built on art and music. According to Statista, nearly 70% of VR device users use them for gaming and entertainment content. AI drawing technologies like Midjourney and DALL-E are designed specifically for creative output. What if art and music had never existed? These technologies would completely change their development path. Virtual reality would only be used for training and simulation, and AI would be a precise data processor, devoid of any creative component. Our internet culture would also lose its color. There would be no music sharing platforms, no art creation social media, no visual effects or meme culture. The internet would become a pure messaging tool, like an early Telegram and database hybrid. When we can't create beautiful virtual worlds, humanity will remain trapped in a cold reality. No matter how advanced technology becomes, it will never quench our thirst for creativity and emotion. Architecture, known as frozen art, from the Gothic cathedrals of the Middle Ages to modern skyscrapers. Every building is not just a space for living or working, but also an embodiment of human aesthetics and culture. A well-designed city can affect the emotions and health of its inhabitants. Studies show that friendly, aesthetically pleasing buildings and neighborhoods can improve people's sense of happiness, security, and creativity. However, what would these buildings look like if art never existed? Imagine a cityscape filled with bland, square buildings. The shapes, colors, and layouts of skyscrapers would all be the same, only focused on maximizing space utilization and structural stability. Parks would have no sculptures or art installations. Streets would have no murals or music performances. All buildings would exist solely for function. This city might be more efficient, but it could never provide emotional belonging. When all buildings look the same, people's lives would become monotonous and mechanical. A city lacking aesthetic value would be a wasteland for the human soul. Contemporary social psychologists believe that aesthetic needs are a part of human spiritual life. If this need is not met, it will lead to potential mental health problems. This also means that our spiritual world will not only become impoverished but may also fall into lasting emptiness. On this journey through the parallel world, we have seen that cold world without art and music. Reason may still exist, but the absence of emotion makes human civilization incredibly barren. What sets us apart from other animals is not only our higher intelligence and technology, but also our ability to create beauty. That has never existed. It is this creativity that allows human thoughts to transcend mere survival instincts. Art, music, and beauty have never been just superfluous embellishments. They are the core meaning of our existence. Human value lies not just in inventing tools, building cities, or conquering nature. The most precious thing is our ability to create intangible souls and transform them into visible, audible, and tangible forms. When we express emotions through art and resonate souls through music, our existence becomes more than just biological life. Without art, humanity would only survive but never truly live. Creativity, art, music, and beauty are the wings of the human spirit. Because of their existence, we can soar higher and see further. I hope this exploration makes you and me cherish these treasures that give our lives meaning. This is What If Lab. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts. See you next time.